Well, ladies and gentlemen. It's officially happened. It is officially happened. Tony Khan is a fucking mark. Absolutely. You want to know why we say Tony Khan is a mark? Because WWE now just basically confirmed he is a mark because they low-key trolled him with this Wrestle Palooza gig that they got going on September 20th. I find it to be absolutely petty, but we know WWE plays petty. Not only do I find it petty, I find it to be hilarious that we all started this process out with an unnamed pay-per-view born out of thin air on September 20th to counter-program AEW All Out in Toronto. We now know WWE is in bed with ESPN for a $1.6 billion deal that was supposed to start around WrestleMania 42. Now WWE has September 20th locked in. WrestlePalooza is the official name, headlined by John Cena and Brock Lesnar in the main event. And WWE is not airing this on Peacock, it's airing it on ESPN, and WWE's deal with ESPN starts on September 20th with WrestlePalooza. And here's the kicker, folks. WrestlePalooza is an old ECW-themed revival show. Who loves ECW more than Tony Khan? I don't think there's a human being on this planet alive that loves ECW more than Tony Khan. WWE not only counter-programmed, man, they fucking trolled AEW and Tony Khan, man. What's the latest here? What's going on? I got all the latest with this official announcement for WrestlePalooza on September 20th right here on Off the Script. It is your Thursday, August 21, 2025. WWE announced yesterday that the first ever WrestlePalooza is hitting ESPN on September 20th. It may be the first ever WrestlePalooza and the last ever WrestlePalooza. Can I just say, I honestly think the WrestlePalooza name is lame, and I don't really think it fits in the current landscape of names for these PLEs. I mean, I guess to go along with everything else that we got, I mean, maybe it doesn't matter to you, but to me, I just think that the name WrestlePalooza is kind of indie. It's almost like an indie-rific name. It's almost like something someone would put on in their backyard, and WWE is using it here to counter-program AEW. I just find it to be lame. I don't know. I don't think I never in my wildest imaginations that I think WWE would name one of their PLEs WrestlePalooza. The only name that we have on the pay-per-view calendar that has wrestle in it is WrestleMania. I guess this is where the best wrestle now, ain't it? And that may be another low-key burial there from WWE. Oh, yeah, this is where the best wrestle we got. WrestlePalooza happening on September 20th. Man, their pettiness knows no bounds. The announcement yesterday, not only with WrestlePalooza, but WrestlePalooza will be the first PLE that WWE airs on ESPN, and it will kick off their ESPN partnership. Now, what happens to Peacock? Apparently, Clash in Paris will be the last WWE PLE on the existing Peacock deal, as Brian Alvarez states, and I quote, this is coming from The Observer, that PLE, Clash in Paris, will be the final one to air on Peacock here in the United States. He explained that by adding a second night to SummerSlam and holding the All-Women's Evolution event in July, WWE has now met its required number of events for its current Peacock deal. Now, I don't know when the Peacock deal ends. I believe it could be next year. So WWE has this deal with Peacock existing up until next year. Peacock will still air WWE programming. So with this PLE, Clash in Paris, that signals the end. WrestlePalooza signals the beginning of the ESPN deal for main roster shows. Peacock will still be the home of WWE when it comes to SmackDown replays on the USA Network. And then you have NXT and Saturday night's main event. So if you guys care about those shows at all, you want to watch the NXT shows, you got to stay on Peacock. You want to watch Saturday night's main event, you got to stay on Peacock. So WWE is keeping those branded shows on Peacock, and they've also eliminated Saturday night's main event from NBC on Channel 4 here in New York City or your local NBC station. So it will not be on network television no more. Saturday night's main event is now an exclusive brand to Peacock. So they wanted to keep some WWE presence there, exclusively there. So you'd have to remain there if you care about that. People like you and me, we're going to cancel our... Actually, I might not, because I gotta do these shows and these podcasts. But for you who might not care, you don't have to subscribe to Peacock anymore. If you want to move over to ESPN, you can get rid of Peacock, so you don't have to worry about that. That's one less bill you got to pay. But apparently, they've met their quota. Now, WrestleMania's 2 nights. This is according to Alvarez. WrestleMania's 2 nights. SummerSlam's 2 nights. WWE has added 4 Saturday night's main events to the calendar year. Evolution. So WWE, according to Alvarez, has met their quota, and all future shows will now be shown through ESPN. The new landmark 5-year deal with ESPN is $1.6 billion for WWE. The first PLE, like I said, will be September 20th from the Gainsbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, and that is Wrestle Palooza. This is John Cena's last time in Indianapolis, and it's sure to be a big, big deal. Now, the show is going to be headlined by John Cena and Brock Lesnar. There are rumors that WWE is not doing Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre in Paris. They are saving Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for WrestlePalooza. We could also see CM Punk and Seth Rollins in a one-on-one match. Who knows if that might be a stipulation match? We might get a Hell in a Cell. WWE is going to absolutely send every major match, every major performer to Indianapolis. This is going to be a banger of a show. They are loading this show up, man. They are arming all the cannons, and they are coming for the kill shot on AEW and All Out in Toronto. Now, like I said about WrestlePalooza, I'm not crazy about the name. I know the counter programming may bother some people. Listen, I don't want to reiterate myself and repeat myself, but the reason why the counter programming is happening as heavy as it is because WWE wants to steal the headlines. WWE is going to steal the headlines even more now because their deal with Peacock for the main roster PLEs is over. WrestlePalooza will be the first one on ESPN. That alone is going to make mainstream attention. So the first major PLE on ESPN, it's going to get headlines. WrestlePalooza going to get headlines because it's going head-to-head with AEW, and everybody's going to be talking about WrestlePalooza because it's John Cena's last match in Indianapolis, and he's wrestling Brock Lesnar on top of everything else that's going on that show. They want to steal the headlines. They want no one talking about AEW. I don't give a fuck what Tony Khan's got planned for All Out. No one's going to be talking about All Out. No one's going to be talking about AEW. They want to close the door on everyone talking about AEW. They don't care. They don't care in the way you think they care. See, to the sickos, they care about AEW in the way of, they're competition. WWE is scared. WWE is not scared. They're not afraid of AEW. They don't give a fuck about AEW. They don't care about their attendance. They don't care that they sold out the O2 for Forbidden Door, which is basically the equivalent of a WWE Saudi show for you AEW sickos. Nobody gives a fuck. It's as boring could be. It's as irrelevant as anything they've done. It's just a show that exists. They sold it out, though. Good on you. You go to a market that's thirsty for United States-based pro wrestling, and you sold out the O2 Arena. Fantastic. My favorite band sells out the O2 every time they go over there. No big deal whatsoever. They are thirsty for professional wrestling. And then the funny thing is they're going to be selling out 18,000 in the O2, and then the following Wednesday they'll be in front of 1,500 people at the ECW Arena, man. The optics are just fucking ridiculous. They want to steal the headlines. They want to steal the headlines. They don't care about ratings, demos, attendance, storylines, which are non-existent over there. They don't care. They know AEW is in the mud. They know AEW shot themselves in the foot. They know AEW is on the decline. So not only do they want to steal the headlines, but we talked about the whole TNA deal with them moving to Wednesday nights. WWE is operating as a jaded lover, man. They are making this personal. Tony Khan is manipulating the market for what he's paying a pro wrestler. He has power. He's in control. WWE used to have that control. They don't anymore. They got to listen and they got to abide by Tony Khan's law now. He's paying all these wrestlers what he thinks they're worth. And that actively hurts WWE's bottom line because it's taking WWE to a point where they have to match these offers. And to them, that's losing money. You don't want to put WWE in a position to lose money. You don't want to take WWE in this instance and take money out of their pockets. They find that to be a personal shot, and they're going to attack in the most ruthless way possible. And that's exactly what they're doing. It's all about the money. It's all about the contracts. It's all about what Tony Khan has done to the pro wrestler market and what he's paying for pro wrestlers. WWE at some point is going to have to pony up the dough if they want anybody on the free agent market, because Tony Khan has manipulated it to his liking. And if anybody's coming over from AEW to WWE, those negotiations are going to look a lot different than if it was only WWE. So this is a personal vendetta from WWE to AEW. The more you understand that, the more this is easier to digest. This is now just WWE fucking poking the dead bird, man. It's like my cat, like I said, poking a dead bird, playing with a dead bird. WWE has now created this PLE where there was none in September. We were going from Paris to Perth. Now we're stopping in Indianapolis on the way to Perth. WWE had no pay-per-view in September. They magically came up with something on the same day to counter-program All Out to steal the headlines. John Cena's last match in Indianapolis. Brock Lesnar's back for the first time, his first match in 2.5 years. They will main event. It's going to be on ESPN. Bro, AEW at this point can do nothing to steal a single headline away from WWE on that weekend. The only way Tony Khan is going to be able to do that is if he goes and has Darby and Mox do something completely Daredevil-like. I won't be surprised if Darby and Mox jump off a fucking building to get people talking about AEW. He's going to allow them to do the most ridiculous stunt in the history of AEW. Believe me, that is my prediction. That is the only way that AEW will steal the headline. They think by doing great pro wrestling, they'll steal the headline. Bro, nobody gives a fuck. None of these people give a shit the way you think that they do. WWE has nothing to worry about. They've already just battered down AEW to a point where they'll be left with nothing more than blood and gore to get people talking about what they're doing in Toronto. Edge and Christian, not going to be enough. Darby and Mox, not going to be enough. Great wrestling, not going to be enough. A debut or a return, not going to be enough. WWE, check and mate to AEW. Now, as far as the ESPN stuff, I know you guys were given WrestleMania as a timetable to get your ducks in a row. You're going to have to get your ducks in a row way sooner than that. My guy Andrew Baydala put out a tweet yesterday. Some have asked, here's a quick answer regarding ESPN DTC. ESPN has agreements in place with half of the pay TV market, including Charter, DirecTV, Fubo, Hulu, Verizon, and other smaller operators. Discussions with other major distributors are ongoing, and over time, we expect that all fans will have access to ESPN DTC. Existing ESPN Plus subscribers will become subscribers to ESPN's Select Plan. Their Select Plan will give you more than 32,000 live sports events annually, a robust library of exclusive studio shows, on-demand replays, and acclaimed original content, and more for $11.99 a month. If that does not interest you, you always have the option to go to their ESPN DTC Unlimited plan, which will get you 47,000 live events each year, on-demand replay, studio shows, original programming, $29.99 a month. Special offer at launch, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Unlimited bundle for $29.99 a month for the first 12 months. That includes ads on Disney Plus and Hulu. So ESPN also expects agreements to be worked out before NFL launch. You guys will be getting all NFL. If none of that interests you, then you're going to have to find another way to pay for WWE if you guys care about watching the PLEs. Or if you want to get all that content, you can certainly sign up for it, get the NFL and everything else that's included, WWE included, and pay the $29.99 a month. I don't know where you sit financially. I don't know where you sit as far as what you have, streaming service or not. But that is coming from Andrew Baydala. Unlimited and select plans. WWE introducing you to ESPN on September 20th with WrestlePalooza. Another piece of news that came out of this is that AEW content was now removed from ESPN's website with this new WWE partnership. On the ESPN website, under other sports, there was a drop-down menu and there was a subsection for pro wrestling. Previously, this section contained links to dedicated pages for both WWE and AEW. Currently, while the link to WWE remains active, the link for AEW now directs users to a page not found error message indicating that the content has been removed. The removal of AEW's content from ESPN's website can be seen as the latest move in a broader competitive strategy by WWE and its parent company, TKO. This is obviously to directly combat AEW's big events throughout 2025 and beyond. The strategy has seen WWE schedule its own shows and events on the same days as major AEW pay-per-views. This pattern of counter-programming has been notable throughout the year and will continue to only get worse. WWE ran an NXT Battleground event the same weekend as Double or Nothing. They ran Heatwave the same weekend as Forbidden Door coming up this weekend. It appears this trend will continue for the foreseeable future. While neither ESPN nor AEW have officially commented, I don't know why either of them would, they don't. The timing strongly suggests that as the business relationship between ESPN and WWE strengthens, the media giant is prioritizing WWE content over that of its competitor. Some people made a big deal about this on social media. I don't know why. Nobody was going to ESPN for pro wrestling content. If you were, you're a fucking mark. You're a geek. Go get a life. Number two, I swear to God, nobody, and I mean virtually nobody, is going to ESPN to read about AEW or get AEW news on ESPN.com. Cry yourself to sleep. It'll be all right. No love loss. No loss at all. Scream into the clouds. Nobody's going to hear you. And if they do, I guarantee you they don't give a fuck. Nobody was going to ESPN for AEW-related news, articles, content, this, that. Nobody cares. Nobody, I swear to God, nobody was. So I don't even know why this is a thing. I don't know why this would bother anybody. Nobody. WWE is in bed with ESPN. ESPN's in bed with WWE. AEW is looking on the outside, looking in as they are cuddling up in bed, Netflix and chilling. There was another piece of news here, and we'll end with this. Triple H was quoted. Actually, there's two more things. Triple H was quoted on expanding to more two-night PLEs. And there's new main roster programming coming to Peacock on top of what we've already talked about with NXT, Saturday Night's Main Event, and SmackDown replays staying exclusively on Peacock. This report comes from The Hollywood Reporter. They've revealed that new weekly programming from WWE's main roster will be coming to Peacock. The new content is part of a new reworked agreement between WWE and NBC Universal that allowed WWE to move its premium live events to ESPN earlier than scheduled. The report clarifies how the deal for the early exit was structured. It notes that ESPN did not buy out Peacock's remaining rights. Instead, the arrangement was brokered between WWE and Peacock directly. The report adds that WWE was able to fill its contractual quota, like Alvarez had mentioned, for PLEs on Peacock ahead of schedule, in part by splitting its largest events, WrestleMania and SummerSlam, into two-night shows, and by adding other events like Evolution in July. As part of this new agreement, Peacock will become the new home, or the home, for new WWE content. According to the report, WWE and Peacock have worked out a deal to include new main roster programming to stream on NBC Universal's digital platform Peacock. It was also noted that the details of that programming are expected to be announced soon. How much more WWE do we actually need, bro? How much more content do we need? I mean, I feel like my brain's going to explode. So I don't know what's moving over there. I'm not even going to predict or speculate what's to come. Could be an all-women show. It could be WWE Superstars or one of their C-level shows going over there. WWE Speed could be moved over there. What new show could be over there? Could they be moving Evolve over there? I don't know. Could they be reviving something else? I have no clue. What could it be? It's very weird. Very weird how WWE thinks we want more content. Like, they got enough content on Peacock. If you're already moving the PLEs over to ESPN, there's more than enough content on Peacock to whet people's appetite. We don't need any more content. I don't think people are going to want more WWE content. As far as WWE and their PLEs, Triple H was quoted And he addressed this on SportsCenter. He addresses whether or not more WWE PLEs will be expanded to 2 nights. I think time will tell, he says. It's really, for us, about super serving our fans. Just like for ESPN, you guys thrive on super serving your fan base and the people that watch. So do we. It's what we want to do. So when we can turn these into bigger events, make them destination weekends for fans, that's what we will do. It's all about our fans, our WWE universe, and making them happy. Only time will tell. Listen, man, it will happen, and I guarantee you, by the time we get to, I'm making 2 predictions here. If it's not Money in the Bank that gets it on that bank holiday in August, because they moved Money in the Bank from June, July to August, it's going to be directly competing with All In Wembley. I guarantee you, if WWE does not do 2-night Money in the Bank that weekend, the next 2-night show will be the Royal Rumble in 2027. We're going to get a Saturday and Sunday Royal Rumble. One night will be the men's. The other nights will be the women's. And we're going to get 2-night Royal Rumbles. And from that point on, the floodgates will open. We're going to get a 2-night Money in the Bank. We're going to get a 2-night Survivor Series. We may get a 2-night Elimination Chamber for all we fucking know. As long as WWE is as hot and are maintaining their ticket sales the way that they want, you will continue to get more PLEs, more 2-night PLEs, and more WWE content. At some point, I have to wonder, you have to wonder, people have to wonder, when is too much too much? You know, WWE is throwing their name in every fucking market, on every streaming service, on every network, man. I just want my Raw and my SmackDown and my PLEs, man. I honestly, from me to you, I don't give a fuck about anything else. I really don't. I want to make content, but at some point, there's only so much people can consume. There's only so much pro wrestling one person can watch. I don't want 7 days of WWE or pro wrestling in general. Quality over quantity. And this is the problem with the product. The more that you're given, the less the quality is. WWE has had a PLE every 3 weeks coming out of WrestleMania. You want to know why the product has deteriorated in the way that it has? Because they are so keen on making more money and coming up with these new concepts and new shows that these shows that they have now on TV are suffering and struggling to get across consistent television because they're worried about the next show and the 2 shows and 3 shows at a time. Bro, enough. Enough. I'm over it. But WWE's got more content coming to Peacock. They got more fucking PLEs coming to 2 nights, making it a destination weekend. How much more, bro? How much more can we take? That's the latest. What I find funny is that this WrestlePalooza show is an ECW revival-themed show, and they're throwing that in Tony Khan's face. They're really telling you what they want you to know without actually saying it. Fuck Tony Khan. Tony Khan's a mark. You want to say that's where the best WrestleMan? We got WrestlePalooza. It's petty. It's fucking ultimately petty. But, man, that shit is fucking hilarious, man. I swear to God, man. When you want to fuck with WWE, like I said, AEW calls this all on their own. Don't poke the bear, bro. You wanted a fight, you wanted a war, man. The bear is going to now set his eyes on you, and it's got blood. It's got blood on the lips. It's exactly what they want to do, man. They're not going to go for the kill. WWE doesn't want to kill AEW. They want to continue poking fun at them because to them, they are nothing more right now than a dead animal. And they know they're weakened, and WWE's going to throw their weight around, which is exactly what they're doing. Guys, thank you very much. I don't know how much more content you're going to get this week, as you guys saw on Twitter. As I mentioned last night on the AEW Dynamite post, my grandma passed away, and I don't know how much content I'm going to be able to get out this weekend with the family getting ready for funeral services and the burial. I don't know what's going on. I will keep you guys updated here on the channel, on YouTube, and on X, so keep an eye and an ear out. As far as SmackDown tomorrow, I don't know. It is up in the air. They're in Dublin, 3 p.m. start time. I might take the day off just to kind of rest. My mind is all over the place, and I'm not really at 100% right now. So I will let you guys know if I'm going live with SmackDown or not. I ultimately may decide to take the night off. And then from there, we'll see what happens this weekend. I will be here for Forbidden Door. I will be watching Forbidden Door, and Jesse and I will be live for the Forbidden Door post show. That much is guaranteed. But as far as SmackDown goes, I may give you guys some just small content, some videos like this, and then kind of take tomorrow off as far as streaming SmackDown. I'll let you know. But if you did enjoy today's video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Go check out the rest of the content on the channel. Great content up on the channel. Go check that out on the homepage. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this news. ESPN, WWE getting in bed together already September 20th. All the PLEs moving to ESPN, WrestlePalooza. Sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And I'll see you right back here this weekend for more content. Forbidden Door this Sunday. I'll be live for the post show right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.